Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a general reading for the sign of Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Libra, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings. If you're interested in signing up for one of those or making a donation, you can find that information in my Buy Me a Coffee link in my official Instagram, both listed in the About section of my YouTube page, and I thank you so much in advance. Libra, I hope that you're doing well. I'm going to be using 3 decks for your reading today. The first one for the overall energy is going to come from the Wild Unknown Alchemy Oracle deck, and at the end I'll read from the book. The second one will be from the Old Soul Oracle, from the creator Steph at House of Scrying on YouTube. And for the tarot portion of the reading, the Way Home Tarot. The cards have been pre-shuffled. This is for Libra. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Angels, spirits, guides. What messages do you have for Libra? Thank you. Oh, very interesting. So the number is 21, which corresponds to the World card of the major arcana of the tarot. The World card talks about chapters closing and new chapters opening. It's almost as if we've finished out a cycle of learning and we're on the precipice of beginning a new one. And you got the card Stanum or Tin. So I don't know much about tin, but immediately when I saw the word, I thought of the movie Pushing Tin, which is something Sanskrit's Tarot, she loves that movie. Apparently, she's mentioned it a couple times in her readings. But Pushing Tin is a reference to, at least in that movie, air traffic controllers. If they're pushing tin, they're pushing the planes. One of the most, you wouldn't think it, but statistically speaking, air traffic controllers have one of the most dangerous jobs in their own right, in their own job. There is a high rate of people who unalive themselves in that line of work because the stress and the pressure of it is so tremendously high. Why I feel like I need to mention that, I don't know. If there is someone or something that you need to speak to someone about, a professional, please do. But I don't necessarily think that that has anything to do with you, though I do think it's important in terms of explaining how we can be in a situation in life that people take for granted. I think that especially in the United States or any country there where air traffic controllers go on strike or pilots go on strike or what have you, and industry comes to a halt, there is this tendency then to really understand how the everyday people that work those jobs, how important those jobs are, how critical those jobs are to how the world functions every day. Not in terms of nature, but in terms of commerce and in terms of society. And there might be something you're dealing with right now where you are in a position where if you are being taken for granted or overlooked, and maybe it has nothing to do with your job, maybe it just has something to do in your life. I'm hearing that song that goes, "This Woman's Work." It's a song about all the ways in which women contribute to society that's hidden, that we don't necessarily get paid for, but we're expected to kind of operate within. There's this picture I saw on Instagram recently rather. I just say lately. Recently, where a woman who had, you know, for 30 years of her life been doing her husband's laundry, she's finally taking some time for herself and going on vacation, like with her sister or something. And there's a picture, I think it was taken by a grandchild, of her teaching her husband how to do his own laundry. And I'm gonna leave that right there. That's all coming from this card. I also see a sense of prisms, right? You can look at something as like a flat plane, but when we bounce light through it, thank you, Spirit, we then realize, when we shine light on it, we then realize how multidimensional it is, how colorful, how dynamic. So this there's something to it, that there's a part of you that's felt overlooked by someone or something, and maybe overlooked by life, by spirit. I've been dealing with that a lot lately. I always know that spirit is around, but it's just this idea that, you know, have they been listening to me lately? But then let me not take for granted that they're always listening, they're always around. But we have to interact with spirit in a way that is purposeful, that is meaningful. So there could be something like that. This could be a partner, this could be a friend, where you just feel like it's like you have so much to offer, but maybe they're only seeing one facet of who you are. And it's getting to you. I feel like it's getting to you. And maybe you're looking to close that cycle. I'm gonna get a card from the Old Soul Oracle. Okay, this doesn't have any wording on it. That's okay. Immediately I saw, well, so it's funny, I interpret this as like a diamond card, like a diamond in a playing card deck. And now I see the Queen from what's it called, Alice in Wonderland, which I don't know that story as well as I probably should. I know there's a Queen of Hearts, but is there a Queen of Diamonds? I'm not sure. But immediately I saw it, like, this is her head, and like she has these things like a crown, and then like her big kind of bulbous dress, and with the red here. It's very in your face. It's very domineering. And I almost see her holding like a sheath in her hand, like a knife. Right? There's something foreboding or intimidating or demonstrative about this energy. Maybe this is your energy. Libras have been known. None of the Libras don't think that they have this. Libras are like, oh, we're passive. We care about equality and being even keeled and blah blah blah. But when you ever see a Libra mad, we don't mess with Libras who are angry, right? Because Libras keep receipts. Libras keep receipts, and they have ready access to those receipts right there at the tip top of their mind. And if they have to bring those out, you don't really have a chance, do you? Right? There is a lot of pomp and circumstance and regalia, because I see this is just this red is an extension of this gown. You know, you see people in gowns, it takes up the whole door frame. There's something about this energy, it just takes up a lot of space. the fact that, you know, it's almost like the face is in shadow. Don't exactly know what I'm dealing with here. I just know that once it starts approaching me, I'll probably want to step out of the way. If this is someone else's energy towards you, right? Could be a parent, like a mother, father, or a boss, or somebody in your life that overshadows you. And maybe you feel like, you know, you have so much to show, right? I see this as like, because a prism, it's like the color is like magic. When you have a prism, it appears clear, but then you shine light through it. And then the colors, the rainbow appears as if by magic. So it's almost like only the right one will be able to bring out these colors in you. And I do see the colors are here, but it's almost like it takes a very special person to bring that out. I don't know if this energy is necessarily that right person. I see this guiding star in the corner here. That's the light shining through. If I flip the card over, now I see just like this big mushroom cloud. And the color of red in the root chakra kind of rising up. So maybe it's important for you to, oh, one of my candles just went out. 1 second. It was on its way out anyway, but I was gonna change it out, but I was like, no, I wanna know what the timing is when Spirit decides it's done. Right, so it went out when I was about to say, or I said that there could be a requirement for grounding for you at this time. Right, air signs, you're constantly, or a lot of times you're thinking, you're strategizing, you're up in your head. And sometimes we can get lost in there. So every once in a while, it's good to connect with nature, connect with self, breathing, quietness, quieting the mind. Because if not, it's gonna just be like poof. Something about things being uncontained. Uncontained. It's very strange. The past 3 or 4 days, I've been hearing this like clicking sound outside my window. There it is again. I can't decide whether it's like a thing because it was never there before, or if it's a bird. Right? So it's this sense that, and it's not all the time, right? It stopped. Spirit is drawing my attention to it. There it goes again. Spirit drawing my attention to it because there could be some curiosity in your life right now that you are trying to make heads or tails of. You are trying to discern something, and that something could have you really preoccupied to the point where you can't think about anything else. Spirit wants to kind of bring you back. Let's focus. Spirit is drawing me back to a meeting I recently had. It was a big group of us, and my group of coworkers, and we all have big thoughts and not afraid to speak. And once we start talking, all of us start having side conversations. And I remember the proctor of this meeting, he just yelled out, okay, bring it back, one meeting. One meeting. And it's a term I had heard before. I guess it's like a shorthand to say, everybody quiet down and focus. And Spirit just wanted me to tell you that one meeting. Bring it back. We're having to focus now. And it's kind of like this. It's kind of like the sun has to hit the prism at just such an angle. There's a type of precision, just like pushing tin, right? You can't haphazardly land 20 planes at the same time. There's a precision to it. And Spirit is drawing your attention to that right now. It's almost as if you're distracting yourself by thinking too hard about something. Okay, I'm going to pull 3 cards for the base spread, 3 cards for clarifier, past, present, future. And at the end, I'll pull a card of advice from Spirit. I am only taking uprights in this reading unless I am guided to do otherwise. Spirit just keeps saying one meeting. One meeting. Okay. In the past energy, this is very beautiful. Number 10 of the Major Arcana, the Fortune card, the Wheel of Fortune. The Major Arcana in the Tarot made of the first 22 cards of the deck. And each card represents a piece of a path on a journey, which starts with the Fool. The Fool's journey, taking the leap of faith and seeing where it leads. They represent the major archetypes of human experience. Every single card is something different, some new beautiful lesson to learn. And by the time we reach the 10, the wheel starts to turn. Things start to move in our favor. Things start to come into alignment. They call this the card of divine timing, good luck, and good fortune. Jupiter is also represented in this card, Jupiter being the planet of expansion. So in the past energy, you experienced something that kind of expanded your horizons, that something was moving in your favor. It was something that, with the Ace of Pentacles, would have been a brand new beginning for you. Very self-contained, though, you can see here. But wanting to break free. Very self-contained, but wanting to break free. And let's see, I want to pull a clarifier for these 2 cards. It seems like there was a nice beginning that Spirit brought in. Father of Wands. Something that you were really determined about, that you were determined to go after. King of Wands here. Somebody who is passionate, who is a leader, who doesn't hesitate in making decisions, and especially in making moves. So there's something here that you made a decision about that I think it was just the right timing. Because I also see the constellations here, and it's hearkening back to this star. I don't know, there's something, maybe there was something in your chart, your astrological chart, that seemed to go into alignment for you. But I'm very curious about this card, because Have you ever seen pictures of street signs? There's there are a couple actually, pictures where whole plants or trees have grown in the spaces between street signs. Like you, when you put a street sign down, it's usually made of metal, but it's kind of a hollow piece of square metal that goes all the way up. And I've seen actual trees grow up through that piece, like this, but like extend it down into a whole signpost. And then the tree grows. It's like if a plant is determined enough, it will break through containers, it will uproot building structures, it will grow through street signs. Excuse me. It won't stop until it's found its grounding that is appropriate for it. I have a lot of plants in my room. I probably have almost 100 plants, different plants in my room. And some of them, you know, I probably should have converted to bigger pots a long time ago, but I live in an apartment, so they always say that plants don't grow any bigger than the pot that they're planted in. That's not always the case. And it's evidenced by the fact that a lot of my plants have roots that kind of grow out and they kind of hang over the side of their containers, like little kind of fingers reaching in the darkness for something to hold on to. Kind of like this. There could have been something unrooted about this energy. I can't shake it. Like you're searching for something more. Like this little container is not quite good enough, or wasn't in the past. It's a beautiful thing, maybe a blessing, but not quite good enough. In the present energy, the Seven of Wands, and I want to draw you to that broken board, that broken piece of wood. We never want to see a broken piece of wood across a bridge. That's the last place we want to see anything broken. And yet here it is. The Seven of Wands is a card of protection and sometimes defensiveness and blocking. Standing tall, standing strong, standing our ground. You can see the one flame in the back there, kind of in the way. Thank you, Spirit. There's some part of you right now, the energy that I'm picking up on is thou shalt not pass. And with the thou shalt not pass. Thou shalt not pass, kind of like this. Thou shalt not pass. If you wanted to, you could cross this bridge, but you would hesitate, wouldn't you? This is the current energy for you is one of defensiveness and blocking. So did you recently block somebody, like block their phone number, block their emails, like block their access to communication to you? You had your reasons. It's not always a nice energy. The energy, the card to clarify it is similar in nature. Four of Pentacles. I don't know much about frogs. He seems pretty steady where he is, but each lily pad holds a foot. If he were to let go of one of them, he would be unbalanced. Four of Pentacles can sometimes be a card of stinginess, frugality, right? Holding on very tightly to our finances, to our pentacles, our stability, not really wanting to let go. These tarot-wise, these feel very similar, just in two different suits. So I'm not going to allow you to do anything. I'm not going to allow you to take anything from me. Let's get a clarifier for the present energy for Libra. One card, please. Ten of Wands. Yep. Spirit confirms it. It's a burden that you're putting down now. Look at all the matches spent. Ten of Wands is a card where by the time we've reached the 10, right? Each suit tells a story from Ace to 10. Then you have the court cards, Page, Knight, Queen, King. But each suit tells a story, and by the time we reach the 10 in the suit, we're done. We've carried so much experience that it feels like a burden. It feels like something that has gone on too long, and we're just, everything is exhausted. Resources exhausted, energy exhausted. There's nowhere to go but back to the beginning. So by the time we reach the 10 in any suit, we go back to the Ace. So the Ace of Wands, which is where you're heading, it's not on the table, it's just where you're heading. The Ace of Wands is a brand new beginning, a spark of creativity and inspiration. And it's about time too. This is to clarify the present energy. It's understandable why you're holding on to what you have, because you've already expended so much. So there's a caution, there's a tentativeness. In the future potential, Six of Cups. This is really beautiful. Six of Cups talks about nostalgia, good memories, looking back to the past, and also learning from the past. They often call this the card of like the rose-tinted glasses. And here they are, rose-tinted glasses. Not quite what that expression means. It usually means actually having glasses on over your eyes that are rose-tinted and everything looks pretty and pink. Right, but here it looks kind of like a picnic that we're on, and we're drinking some kind of rosé. There's a fondness here. There's a warmth in your heart at something in your future potential, but it's looking back to the past. And here comes number 6, Gemini energy with the Lovers, major arcana. So maybe somebody from your past is really taking a front seat now. The Lovers card can talk about a high-level commitment, and it can also speak of a choice point, making a decision about something. That speaks to the heart chakra. Finally, somebody, because you see the faint rainbow colors here. It's almost like there's somebody in your life that sees your rainbow, which is really nice. There's a warmth here. But it's quiet. A quiet kind of love. Okay, Spirit just saying in my head, The Phil Collins song, Groovy Kind of Love. Do you know that song? Groovy Kind of Love. Oh, Spirit wants you to listen to that. It's funny, they gave me the song Groovy Kind of Love, but I hear another Phil Collins song in my head, which is You and Me in Paradise. But the chorus to that song is, oh, think twice. It's just another day for you and me in paradise. Oh, think twice. It's just another day for you and me in paradise. Why think twice? There's a tentativeness over this reading. It started in the past energy. It's extending into the present. There's a tentativeness. There's some part of you that feels like the other shoe is going to drop. I don't know why. Let me ask Spirit. I don't have to know. I can ask Spirit. Why does Libra have this feeling? Look at this. The Sun and the Eight of Wands. The Sun is the best card in the deck. Are you one of those people that feels a little bit of self-sabotage when things go well? Eight of Wands is fast action, fast communication. Things coming in hot, basically. Two versions of hot here. The Sun card is so bright, it's you almost can't perceive it. And the landscape looks very desolate, looks very hot, looks very dry. I asked Spirit specifically, why does Libra feel tentative? And you feel tentative almost like because you're going to get what you want. So take that as it resonates. Things look good, and they're coming in fast. And that could intimidate you. You get a card of advice from Spirit. What should Libra do at this time? Four of Swords. Just sleep on it. Just relax. Four of Swords. Relax. It's time to just get cozy. You're overthinking a little bit. Do what you want, right? But Spirit is suggesting that you just need to take a breather and sleep on it and recuperate. Whatever you've been through, maybe you have your reasons for hesitation, but you're closing out that chapter and you're beginning one that feels very optimistic. I'm gonna read from the book, number 21, Tin. Malleable, expansive Jupiter. Tin is a silvery white, highly malleable metal. This is in part because tin structure is composed of crystals in cubic or tetragonal formations that can be broken or crushed under moderate pressure. When the crystalline structure breaks, a sound known as the tin cry can be heard, hence the unnerving sound of crinkling tinfoil. Such is the energy of the tin card. On the one hand, it is tin's Jupiterian nature to expand, to mobilize, to cover the whole territory. On the other hand, the metal cannot withstand much weight or pressure. When this card appears, you may have reached a limit or a breaking point after taking on more than is logistically possible under the circumstances. Isn't that what I said? Don't take this juncture personally. More strength is required before taking next steps to support the expansion you see in your mind's eye. In esoteric wisdom traditions, Jupiter and Tin are associated with the liver. It's possible the liver may have a wise message to reveal, perhaps about excess and balance. That's your reading, Libra. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Libra.